Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever. My name is Uthris, and we are going to be working on a new section of our lovely little region here next to this river and bay, inlet, lake, don't know. Could be the Great Lakes, could be just somewhere that has a really wide portion of river. I don't know where we are. We're somewhere. We are going to be looking at planning out some industrial stuff today. So here in the past couple episodes, we've been laying out a lot of the highway system, redoing some of the roads and towns, laying out the beginnings of an inner city transit system. So, all this is well and good, but when you're playing Transport Fever 2 and you're not transporting any goods, all this does nothing. So what we want to do is I want to go ahead and build a large train depot out this way along these three major industrial items along the coast. It also would make sure it's kind of close to our kind of large docks as well over along that shoreline. And I think it will just look really cool to have that stuff over there. Now, we might end up having another train depot eventually somewhere else in the city. Don't know. Or we could just go with one this whole time. Again, the goal is to have a massive sprawling urban environment here. We have laid out some raw resource nodes along the countryside, kind of just tucked away into some hills. There's going to be two of kind of each resource, whether that's oil, stone, logs, iron, coal, those type of things. That's all going to be kind of trained in and then shipped about, probably. I think that's generally the consensus that I came to when planning this thing out, because I want a lot of road traffic through here. And a decent amount of import-export through the train system. So, without further ado, we're already 2 minutes in, and I've already rambled myself off here. We're gonna try and do our best. So, I don't know. Let's just jump into it. Let's see what we can do here. So, freight yard. I'm gonna go 240 meters. Actually, let's go 320. 320 is totally fine. And I need to leave enough room for road depots along this section too. So we're gonna have a bit of an interesting connection with not only the industries, but this highway up here too. So I'm gonna try and get this relatively as close as possible. And we might do, let's angle this maybe. Maybe it'd be best have it angled. Something like this. That's a good location. There we go. So, this being a large train hub of some kind, we are going to go ahead and upgrade this to have multiple lanes here. I could have probably just laid this down in one chunk and not have to do this. I never really seem to think this all the way through. Cargo platform. Kind of like the 1850 platforms, but we'll keep it modern. Modern like you do, right? So we'll go ahead and plug that in. Kind of like that, and then get some more rails. And then what I'm gonna do is actually delete these buildings for now, because I kind of want to do that. So we can get 4 lanes going in and out. And then if I do cargo buildings, does it have to be along a platform? It really does? That's a bit of a shame. Okay. Well, let's try this. Net passenger. Because I want to get the buildings. I kind of want this U shape in a way. So we'll do that. We'll go cargo buildings. We'll stick a large one down here. That's on the farther end. Nah, that's not gonna look good. Ooh. Let's do this. There we go. Some sort of uniform shape to it. Something like that. Because we need to run a road down through here so that we have a good road connection. And I want a wide road connection because I want the train station to actually just directly link up to these industries. Okay. Now for shipping reason, let's go ahead and lay out the road here. So I'm probably going to need a larger street of some kind if it will fit. Kind of working in a tight area. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any sort of 4-lane, but ideally that's what I'd want. Something to just come down the street like that. Okay. Now the game has been updated since I last played, and they have added some nice good features to the road building tools. They've added a street and a curved feature. That way, if you're trying to do a straight, you have a little bit more control over it. That's something, Transport Fever has always kind of suffered with, is some sort of way to kind of dictate if you want something to be a straight or a curve. There and then curve. Something a little bit more gentle. This is going to have a lot of traffic going on it, and I can't afford any major slowdowns. So if we come over to buildings, cargo, specifically truck unload stop. And then this is the actual cargo. Trying to get this thing placed in such a way that I'm going to be able to hit multiple things. The dock and the train station. Always the train station needs to be kind of included here. And then also the factory that we want this line to be hooked up with. So, I was clicking on the wrong thing. I need to click on the annex. That. I need an exit, an entrance. He's a bit longer first. I kind of wish I could just keep lining them up like this, but maybe not. Get an entrance in here. Not too bad. I might rearrange this road long term to make it more parallel to here and then bend it. That might... Let's just do that. So, street. Make this a straight. Go to there, and then... Curve. Can I just do straight onto straight? What's that look like? Honestly, that doesn't look too bad. Just that slight bend there. Not bad at all. Now here. Okay. Yeah, not too shabby. It's alright. We can live with this, I think. I think we can. Alright, so if I click on this train station, you can see it's hooked up to the tools factory, the fuel refinery, but not quite to the Continental. Centennial. I don't know why I said Continental. Centennial Steel Mill, which still has a road on it, so we'll go ahead and switch that. Because there should be a road more on this side, I think. Which would then hook that up. I'm gonna try and get... possible for me to get a road this way? I don't think so. So that's that. We'll come back. And I need another road vehicle building here. This is not laid out very well. I'll tell you now. It's not, and I'm not happy about it. This one hits both of these. So maybe I might have to move the steel mill. So if I come out here, find steel mill again, and move it where it's aligned, we have more space here. I can actually do a proper turn. Bit of a proper turnaround. Okay. So we're gonna build that there. Gonna configure it. Like that. Let's make these longer first. Like that. Then we'll do exit. Entrance will be down here, just in like that. And then we'll just do a bit of a loop. So we'll extend the road. This new road coming in. Extend it. Get a small street. Come out here. I think there's a better small street. Something that's not quite that slow. Let's do this instead. Let's come out maybe with a bend. Something like that. That might look better. And if I come straight this way, with a bend into it. That doesn't look too bad. Definitely could be worse. I don't like this point still. Kind of don't like it at all. So we're gonna mess with it a little bit more. Just a hair. I wonder if I can do that with that. Nope. That. Hmm. So I'll put that in there. Ooh. That I think looks a little bit better. It's not as wonky, I guess would be a good way to put it. Not as wonky. Okay, and if we put some trees and some other miscellaneous items out here, it honestly won't look too bad. So here, we're just gonna come up to this 90 degrees. This one as well. Can I get 90 underneath this bridge? Oh, looks like it. We're close to it. I'll have to flip it around so we still have access. Okay, so we got a bit of a depot. We got some road vehicle depots, not depots, loading zones as well. And all the raw resources for these three are coming in by train. And so we're only exporting by vehicle here. Unless, no, the wood one is going to come by vehicle probably. It's going to come from the other side via truck. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see. Have to see how that goes. All right. Cantonary. No. I'm going to have some storage tracks coming out here on this side, I think. Because I think it would look cool. So we'll do standard track. Let's see. This is probably going to be the two tracks that line up with the main section. Everything will kind of peel off of it. So if I come out like that. Get some nice symmetry in there. We can also come off this section, I think. Get this to snap. Come off that. These two. Here. Let's just do that. Make it look cool. And do a cross junction here. Now all this is going to be for looks at this point. I'm trying to get this rail yard to look relatively presentable. Don't know how I want to do it. For the most part. And I don't know anything about, proper rail yards, right? This isn't my area of expertise. So people have, opinions or things like that. Of course, I would love to hear them, but go a little easy on me. I am a relative noob when it comes to this sort of thing. But if there's proper things to follow, definitely let me know. Because I'd be interested in learning more about these type of things. They're very interesting. For example, this is not as close as I want it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Nope. No turn there or anything like that. Let's get standard tracks, and we will keep rolling out a little bit. Because I wouldn't mind making the rail kind of go off the map, right? I wouldn't mind it to kind of just look like it's continuing off somewhere else. I don't like end stations or anything like that, or end roadways. I want things to actually look like they come from somewhere and are going somewhere. That's kind of my ideal. And then we'll say, or just for the sake of argument, there might be perhaps different rail going a different direction. Potentially. So let's hook this up real fast. Maybe that one doesn't need to be there. That's a little busy looking. So we'll do something more like that. Yeah, it's a bit of a spaghetti mess, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It's interesting. It's got a shape to it, an accurate shape. I'm not so sure, but it's cool. It's definitely cool. And about potentially going off in a different direction. I think we're going to go away from that idea and just have a bit of a stockyard kind of going off this way. It's just probably better. Some sorting type of stuff. You know what? It may not be accurate, but I like the footprint. I like how that kind of feels. I'll probably put some of the train house kind of stuff down here as well, and I might even throw a quick branch up into the metro, and maybe we can put some You know, maybe they store Metro stuff down here too. You know, not 100% sure, but definitely interesting looking. So in terms of the rest of the standard track, we're going to kind of go parallel with this road for a little while, I would say. Go underneath this bridge. And then I need to run some track over here. Just like that. I don't know if the curve settings do much for rail, honestly. So far I've been just leaving it on the default straight. If that's accurate or not, I'm not 100% sure. I honestly couldn't tell you. But what I want to do is actually get parallel up to these. Right? Because I don't want them to necessarily interact with each other. Like, you know, they're not going to be on the same rail network, but I do want them to be close to each other, right? Kind of share this bridge network a little bit. And then what we'll do is when we get to this next station, kind of go over here, start the curve, but also come out and away from it again. And then we'll start going that way. So that we can have a bit of a line. Okay. Now, bridges in this game don't look very clean. It could be my fault. It could be, you know, just the way the game handles this. Like this stuff where you get like some parts of the bridge kind of clipping through. I wish I could get rid of that. If you guys have any tips on how to do so, definitely let me know, because I would like to make this as clean looking as possible. I'm kind of starting to do this where we use tracks without kind of a rail edge on it. But how effective that is, still not 100% sure. So definitely let me know if you guys have run into that. And if you have any tips on cleaning it up, for sure let me know, because I need that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to make this a little bit smoother of a gradient. So that's gonna go down. The main tracks, I think they were high speed, technically, actually come out and over, kind of like that. Right, that's technically what the metro line would do. So I would just have to make sure, and I want to line this up to like the leftmost side of the rail yard kind of space. Because how we are going to get that over there, I could either run it underneath the highway and then parallel down to the on-ramp, probably. That is the most likely scenario. So if I were to just do that, then something like this, with that be effective? I think so. not super straight. I don't know, I'm not getting any collision warnings, so in theory I don't see why I couldn't do this. Well, one reason is bridge pillar collision is a bit of an issue. I wonder if I can connect this up to the left side here, kind of like that. And do that. That's a really narrow gap. Just test it and see, you know. Not too bad. See, now I'm wondering if I can smooth this line out even more. So it kind of doesn't make much sense how it's kind of crossing over that sharply. I mean, that's not too bad. Right? And then I want like a section of it to kind of go along. So if I were to make a parallel line, say out to here, and then just connect it over to where we are building. Okay, it doesn't necessarily like that. I'm not really surprised. Nope. I can get a little bit more room here. Maybe that doesn't really necessarily touch the other side, and there's a bit of a greenery space next to it. Maybe. Sometimes I'm never really sure, and this kind of stuff is the stuff that I spend hours doing, because I'm never really sure on how I want it to function. No. Let's do some like the curve sooner. You can kind of go straight to here and curve slightly back, just like that. Yeah, like I think I can live with that. So this section of rail, this is actually going to go off. Say this goes to like the next city, next town, whatever, right? And the other one that we have down below, that's freight. So that's a different kind of connection point and stuff. Okay. Wouldn't mind this side being a little straighter along here. I know, I'm just faffing about. This is how I build everything, guys. Just a whole bunch of. Does this look good? I don't know. Does this look good? I don't know. Okay, so we got the straight line set up. Now I just need to connect these. Down to there. Yeah, let's do that. You know, I just imagine train lines to not be as wiggly as I lay them out half the time. You know, but I don't know. That's an assumption that I'm making. So whether or not that is accurate, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Let's go with this one again. And then down. There we go. Ah, shoot. I had the catenary turned on. Stuff. So I have to turn those off. Yep. Yep, that works out. I think. Better try to get this a little straighter too. I'm nope, not gonna faff around with that much more. Let's go ahead and put down a train depot. This episode is running long. This. So let's put one here and here. Something like that. That's a good initial. I think that's okay. I wonder if I can make this curve. Because I wanted this. Curve here. I don't know why. I just think it would be pretty looking. To have something connect up with this side. Then I would take that to here, something like that, and then these would all just go off that way. That, then this goes to here. I'm not quite sure how that's gonna look, but I don't know. That looks spaghetti enough. It looks industrial, and I think we're gonna go ahead and end this episode here. So definitely let me know how you guys think this is turning out. It'll definitely be far more interesting looking once we actually get some trains on this, and you know, the whole city is kind of stagnant because there's no movement anywhere, but we're getting really close. If you want to subscribe for more creative goodness such as this, definitely do so. Hit that like button to show your support for Transport Fever 2. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.